Yo, what is up NBA fans? It's Mike here. With the start of the 2021 NBA season quickly approaching, and I'm so freaking hyped for it, I am going to be doing my top 5 players for this season at each position. So, I hope you all enjoyed this series. This is the first episode, and I'm going to be doing the point guards. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let's get right into it. Alright, so starting off, I'm actually going to do the honorable mentions first. Just barely outside the top 5, and this was an extremely difficult list to make, by the way. I have Chris Paul and Trae Young, and if I was doing them in order, I would say Trae Young is number 7, and Chris Paul is number 6. So to get into the details on these players, Trae Young, one of the best offensive players in the league. I believe he's going to lead the Hawks to the playoffs this season. The issue with him, it's all about defense, okay? Trae Young is a terrible defender, arguably the worst in the entire NBA. And as good as he is on offense, I just don't think it's enough to make up for the fact that this man is a freaking windmill on defense. He, honest to God, I think I could come into the NBA and be a better defender than Trae Young. I'm only half joking. This dude is so bad. So because of that, I can't place him above any of these other guys. And Chris Paul at number 6, dude's a fantastic player, don't get me wrong. He had an amazing season last year, but Chris Paul is, first of all, he's already older, okay, I believe he's 35, and a very common theme in his career has been injuries. I would not be surprised if he gets hurt this season, and even if he doesn't, at his age, I expect a mild regression, and because of that, I just can't place him over the other guys on this list. You know, it's close. He's just barely missing the cut, but I have all the other 5 point guards. If you saw my top 15 players videos, or video, I have the other 5 guys on this list all ahead, all in the top 15, and I do not quite have Chris Paul on that level. So because of that, I think Chris Paul is number 6. Still an amazing player, but not quite as good as the rest of the guys on this list. So, to get into the real list here, alright, at number 5, I have Kyrie Irving. And for the record, like I said earlier, this was a very difficult list to make, and all 5 of these players are very close. Like I said, they're all top 15 players in my opinion, and specifically numbers 3, 4, and 5 are incredibly close and basically interchangeable. So if you disagree with where I have them, know that this is not by any means a big gap. Alright, they're all very, very close, and just barely I have Kyrie Irving at number 5 on this list. Kyrie, talent-wise, could arguably be number 2 on this list, honestly. The issue with him is, first of all, he's not a very good defender, although only one player on this list really is, but not a great defender. It all comes down to chemistry for me. Kyrie has proven throughout his career to be a real problematic chemistry guy, and that makes your team worse. And a lot of people will not rank him lower because of chemistry, because they're like, well, locker room, that's off the court. But that's not really true, though. If your teammates don't get along, they play worse on the court. And if Kyrie is going to cause issues with his teammates, the Nets are going to be a worse team for it. And because of that, I have him only at number 5. If he proves me wrong, Kyrie could easily end up being 3 on this list, alright? If he ends up coming out and there really is no chemistry issues and he's performing at the same statistical level he has the last few years, plus he's not actively making his team worse with his presence, easily number 3 on this list. However, I'm just not sure if he can really do that. I'm not sure if he can, just keep his dumb tongue to himself. That was a really weird way of wording that, but you understand what I mean. If he can shut up and just play basketball and not piss all of his teammates off, then yeah, he could be higher, but for right now, I only have him at number 5. Alright, I had to clear my throat out there. Hopefully it's a little better now, and my voice doesn't sound like I've been smoking for 20 years. But, anyway, at number 4 on my list, we have Damian Lillard. And once again, completely understand if people think he should be higher than this. I've seen many people who have him as the 2nd best point guard in the NBA going into this season. If you believe that, that's fine. Alright, Damian Lillard, dude is the closest thing to Steph Curry we've seen outside of Steph Curry. Alright, the man is ridiculous. He put up a very efficient 30-8 this season. Alright, absolutely incredible season. However, I think that there is, I just don't quite think he's going to be, first of all, I think he's going to be slightly worse next season, alright? Dame was forced to carry a massive load this previous season because of his team's injuries, and I think his stats, even though inflated stats are kind of a BS thing, and it's debatable how much you can really say stats are inflated due to a bad team, I think that his points would have been a little bit lower if he hadn't been forced to carry such a ridiculous load. Although, saying all that, he was absurdly efficient, okay? 49% from the field for a guard, 40% from 3 considering all the attention he was getting, and 89% from the free throw line. This dude was freakishly efficient last season. Absolutely incredible season. So, not trying to take anything away from Damian Lillard, but I do expect him to have a slight step back this season, just be slightly worse this upcoming season with all the help on his team. And on top of that, I don't know, again, not a great defender or anything. I think his assists, I don't think he is as good of a playmaker as his 8 assists would imply, simply because he was doing so much for his team and there was really no one else passing the ball for the most part. So, not at all taking anything away from Dame. It's not that he's a bad playmaker by any means, he's a very good one. However, I think his stats were just slightly inflated this season, and I expect him to take a slight step back and only be the 4th best point guard in the league. If you disagree with that, completely understand. Now, at number 3 on this list, and this is going to be the controversial one, because I could see some people predicting Russell Westbrook to be here, and spoiler alert, Russell Westbrook is not on my list. He is not an honorable mention. Russell Westbrook, I really question if he is, if he's a top 10 point guard, he's number 9 or 10, okay? He is in no way competing to be on this list. Dude's overrated as hell. Who I do have at number 3 on this list, and this is me being a biased Sixers fan here, I'm 100% sure, but I think Ben Simmons is going to be the 3rd best point guard in the NBA this season. Now, before you all crucify me for this choice, let me explain, okay? If you think that Ben Simmons is going to produce at the exact same level he has the last 2 seasons, then yeah, I completely understand why you would think that he is not going to be this high. In fact, I wouldn't say he's top 5, alright? However, there are 2 huge things with Ben Simmons, okay? Defense, and the fact that he's going to improve in this new system. Alright, first of all, with defense, Ben Simmons is the best defensive point guard in the league. Hands down, no question, it's not even close. The only other quote-unquote point guards you can say are even, very good defenders would be, Eric Bledsoe, who's trash, and Marcus Smart, who I would say is a shooting guard, and also is still not as good as Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is one of the best playmakers in the entire NBA and passers. Dude has averaged 8 assists for his career, and that's despite the fact that he does not shoot, or should I say, has not shot. He is incredibly efficient from the field despite not shooting threes. His free throw percentage is not great, but it has steadily gone up, and I expect another slight increase this upcoming season. Something close to 70% is what I expect. But the big thing with Ben Simmons, alright, he has been mostly stagnant for the first 3 years of his career. His defense has massively improved, his offense has stayed pretty much the same. However, he has been playing under trash coach Brett Brown for his career. Under Doc Rivers, with this new system in place that is finally, for the first time since his rookie year, the team is actually built around Ben Simmons. It is filled with 3-point shooting. I am so freaking happy and so freaking excited as a Sixers fan to see what this man is going to do with 3 legit shooters on the floor around him instead of freaking Al Horford, who is a bad shooter, or even Jimmy Butler, who is a fantastic player, but again, not a very good shooter, okay? Jimmy Butler lessens Ben Simmons' impact. This guy is one of, if not the best passer in the league. He is a fantastic player who can pretty much guard 5 positions, everything except the elite centers. And he's just a fantastic player. I expect his points to go up. I expect his assists to go up. Alright? I expect his efficiency to go up even more. I expect him to shoot threes this season because I think Doc Rivers is actually going to get on his ass and make sure he shoots some freaking 3-pointers when he's wide open. I really do believe he will. Now, I could be dead wrong. Maybe Ben Simmons doesn't improve this season. Maybe he still doesn't shoot. You know, maybe the Sixers don't do that well. And in that case, then I will happily admit later, well, not happily because I will be miserable as a Sixers fan, but I will admit later that I was wrong and Ben Simmons is not going to be the third best point guard in the league. However, I don't think I will. I think that Ben Simmons is going to be third. I think he's going to deserve to be this high on this list, and I think we are about to see a fantastic, borderline top 10 player season from Ben Simmons this year. I cannot wait. Now, number 1 and 2 on this list should be pretty obvious. The real question is the order, and I think at number 2 we have Luka freaking Doncic, future best player in the league. This kid is ridiculous. Going into his third season at 21 years old. Last year, Luka averaged 29 points, 29, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. Ridiculous season, okay? And his efficiency, well, it was kind of iffy. For his field goal percentage, he was 46% from the field and 76% from the free throw line. His three-point percentage, I did not realize how bad his three-point percentage really was. Only 32%. However, it's important to note, Luka Doncic has never had another freaking playmaker on his team with him. This man is taking the toughest shots in the league. This man takes basically James Harden's shot selection, okay? And we give James Harden mostly a pass for his inefficiency because of that. I think Luka deserves the same thing, alright? He would clearly be, and anyone who has watched him I think will agree with this, because this man's taking, 9 three-pointers a game, and they're mostly contested. This man's not getting any easy looks. He's not getting wide-open shots. He's not getting great passes, alright? He does everything on this team, and the Mavs desperately need to get this man a playmaker. Despite all this, Luka is an amazing talent. He's one of the best players in the league, one of the best scorers, one of the best passers. I really do think Luka has potential to be the best offensive player in NBA history. We're clearly not there yet, but I expect another fantastic season from Luka Doncic this year. I'm super excited to see him play. I think he's going to be the second best point guard in the league. And at number 1, we have Steph Curry. Steph Curry is going to compete for an MVP this season. He's missing Klay Thompson, but he's still got Draymond Green, who is a solid enough player with Steph Curry. They got Kelly Oubre, who I honestly can't believe the Warriors tried to replace Klay with Kelly Oubre for like $80 million in luxury tax, but they did, and he's an okay player. James Wiseman is going to be fantastic with Steph Curry, I believe. Andrew Wiggins could have the best season of his career, and it's all going to be based on Steph. As of right now, I think Steph Curry is debatably the greatest offensive player of all time. I would say the only player he's really competing with is Michael Jordan. And it's really just a question of his career as a whole versus 2016. Because 2016 Steph is the best offensive season we have ever seen, in my opinion. I don't really think there's another year you can argue that is better offensively than 2016 for Steph Curry. Dude was ridiculous, and even though I don't think he's going to quite get back to that level, if he can even play basically what he was the last 5 years, excluding 2016, like where he's, 2018, 2017 Steph Curry, where he's still putting up like 27 points a game on amazing efficiency, this dude is his team's system, and his team is amazing. Okay, Steph Curry has been the best player on his team since, I don't know, probably around he was drafted, since something like 2013 probably. Alright, he has been better than Kevin Durant every single year in the regular season. He's just an amazing player. Alright, he's just an amazing player, and assuming that he comes back fully healthy, which I believe he will, Steph Curry is going to be the best point guard in the league this new season. I expect him to compete for an MVP, despite not having Klay on his team. It's going to be an amazing year for Steph Curry. I'm very excited to see it. So, that is it for my list today, y'all. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and be ready for the rest of these lists coming throughout this week. We got shooting guards coming up next. Hope you all enjoy this series.